From the state capitol, the Capitol Report with Senator Dave Cox. And now, the Capitol Report.
Hello, I'm Senator Dave Cox, and I have the privilege of representing the 1st Senate District. Christmas, Hanukkah, and New Year's are just around the corner. Soon we'll decorate our houses with festive lights, candles, and Christmas trees to commemorate the holidays. And many of us will be driving on the road to be with our family. In today's program, we'll talk about holiday safety, from fire safety prevention to drunk driving. Let's begin with two of my favorite chiefs, Chief Dan Haverty of the Folsom City Fire Department and Chief Duane Whitelaw of the North Tahoe Fire Protection District. Gentlemen, nice to have you here today.
Thank you so much for inviting us, Senator.
You bet. Well, we're pleased that you're here, and let's begin, if I can, Dan, by asking you to tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, how you got in the firefighting business, and that sort of thing.
Thank you. Well, I've been a firefighter for 25 years now, and I actually started at pretty close to the Chiefs territory in Meeks Bay as a volunteer, and then a paid firefighter, and then came back home to the Sacramento area. I'm currently the fire chief for the city of Folsom, but I'm brand new at that, just about 100 days on the job. I really got interested in the fire service when my family, we lost family members, from an airplane accident in Ketchikan, Alaska, and my family was taken in by the Ketchikan Volunteer Fire and Rescue, and it was really their model of service and selflessness that inspired me to consider a career.
So that's the thing that drove you to become a firefighter?
Yes, it is.
I see. And what about you, Chief Whitelaw?
Well, I actually started in the fire service in 1976. It's been a while. I started as a volunteer in Susanville, California, moved to Lake Tahoe in 1985, worked my way through the ranks, became fire chief for North Tahoe in 1993. I think I've been really drawn to the fire service for the public safety aspect of it, leaving work each day feeling like I've made a contribution to my community. I'd be remiss, though, if I didn't say the thrill, the adrenaline of the lights and the sirens and the fires wasn't an attraction in the first place, though.
Let's talk about, gentlemen, if we can, Duane and Dan, let's talk about how the firefighting has changed since the days that you went to the academy, and then you either became full-time or part-time or a volunteer. But has there been significant changes between the time that you were in fact in the academy and now that you're both chiefs? What's the change? Duane, from your vantage point, what did you see changed?
Well, Senator, I think probably most of all, we're a lot safer today in what we do than it was in the past. OSHA regulations are much more significant now. Training is greater. Technology is better. We have more investments from our communities. Fire stations are a little closer together. I think communities realize that minutes matter when it comes to fire protection and ambulance service. So there are really a lot of things that I've seen. Dan? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would note the change in mission areas, the added mission areas that we do. We still have, the core structural firefighting and wildland firefighting, even more today. But we also have hazardous materials, vehicle accident rescue, technical rescue, confined space. And the list kind of goes on and on. But the chief touched on a big one, and that is community partnerships. The fire department is a community partner and a community leader with other service organizations in cities and counties. So that's a big one.
Now, you're both first responders. You're the first ones on the scene of an accident from a paramedical standpoint.
We are. Yeah, and the other change perhaps is the increase in EMS, emergency medical services. I think the expectation today, Chief, don't you, is that everybody expects a paramedic to be the first one in the door when the fire department arrives, and that's the case in many departments today.
How many runs a day, Duane, will you have on average in your district?
Our department will run anywhere from it depends on the season. Obviously, Lake Tahoe, we're busier in the tourist seasons, but anywhere from 10 to 20 runs a day.
And how many in the city of Folsom, Dan?
Yeah, interestingly, it's about the same. We have about 14 to 22 a day.
And then from a statistical standpoint, how many of them are medical calls where someone's had a heart attack or someone has fallen or and need assistance, as opposed to the old-fashioned fire that you hit?
I think that's the fallacy, that a lot of people think if there aren't fires, we don't do anything. We sit in the stations and polish the trucks and maybe count them or something. But frankly, 80% of the calls that we run in some way are related to medical emergencies.
Right.
Same with you?
Same in the fire department or transporting today, where we, in days of old, we didn't do that. So.
Well, it is because Thanksgiving is coming up and Christmas is coming up and Hanukkah is coming up. One of the things that we do, in fact, want to talk about today is what we should we be doing in order to keep our houses, our homes fire safe in knowing that there's going to be a Christmas tree up or a Hanukkah tree or there's going to be lights up. What are the suggestions, Dan, that you in fact make?
Well, if a family, one is going to choose a live tree, to make sure that it is fairly freshly cut, and you can, kind of get a good sense of that by taking the branch and giving it a little feel and see how many of the needles fall off. You want one that is holding those needles pretty well. Once you get it in the house, that live tree, keep it away from heat sources. And, there's generally a water basin that you can use to help the tree gain a little bit of water and keep moist.
Does a Christmas tree actually, if you put them in a pot of water, do they actually, even if they've been cut, do they suck up water?
Well, my wife tells me that they do, so I take it as the gospel truth. So they do. It helps them keep a little bit greener and a little bit safer. But it's mostly keeping it away from sparks, keeping it away from heat sources, both heaters, portable heaters, and the fireplace itself.
Duane, when you see a Christmas tree fire, and I suppose you and Dan see about the same number, how fast does a Christmas tree burn up once it starts? Is it something that just goes like that, or is it a slow burner?
Well, frankly, the statistics are startling. I've seen video of Christmas trees burning in under 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
That doesn't leave a lot of time for the family to react and either get out or put the fire out. It can go that fast, literally.
And then, what happens after Christmas or Hanukkah, if you've got that tree up, you begin to think about how you go about getting rid of it. And I know there must be a lot of people who think, well, what we ought to do is put this in the fireplace and set it on fire. Do you have that kind of situation occur?
We've gone on fires over the years where that and also the wrapping paper has gone into the fireplace, and those are just big no-nos. As far as the tree itself, the best thing is to turn it into a recycling center, and those are readily available across many of the counties today. And so that's the best way to get rid of it. Don't try and dispose of it in the fireplace.
Could I also mention to the viewers here, Senator, I think it's important. After the holiday, it's a good time to take the Christmas tree down.
So you don't suggest leaving them up until January or February?
No, I don't. No, a lot of people try to extend that. We all do. It's a wonderful time of the year for ourselves and our families, but really it's a hazard in the home that's worth removing.
I've got a college roommate, by the way, up in who is an Oregon resident half the time, a California resident the other half the time. Ships almost 750,000 fresh cut trees, and he begins that cutting process in mid-November, and in a period of 10, 12, 15 days, he's cut 750,000 trees and shipped them out. Just an unbelievable process.
Yes, yeah.
So you encourage, as soon as Christmas is over, to begin the process of in fact, taking the tree out and getting rid of it then?
Cleaning up, yeah, get rid of all of that. And then in the decoration process, too, you want to use as many non-flammable or fire-resistive decorations as possible in the home. If you're going to use candles in the home, please be sure that they're